need to perfect our salat to the extent that the Sahabas did. So that all our worldly needs and the needs of the Akhirah, they can be fulfilled through our 2 rakats of nafil. The salat of the Sahabas, they used to wait for the next salat. They used to wait. So how soon quickly we can do this? They used to be up for hours on end doing their salat because they derived pleasure from it. They knew the value, the sweetness of the salat. So we too have to make effort on this. Not only through our farais, but also our nafil. This would be one of the first things to be reckoned on the Day of Judgment. On the Day of Judgment, this would be the first thing to be reckoned. If a person's salat is found to be correct, then the rest of the journey will be easy for him. But if he is lacking in his salat, then he has Allah's mercy to fall. So we have to make effort on this. Nothing can come to us without sacrifice. We see in the worldly material day, we have to work, we have to go to the job to get a wage. These are the material worldly things. How can deen come into our lives without any sacrifice on our behalf? We have to make sacrifice. Just like the Sahabas made sacrifice. We are living in Norway, but people must realize that we are Muslim. They should see when walking down the street, they should say, I want to be like him. Like the Sahabas, when they left their own areas from Makkah and Medina, they went to different countries. And the people of the countries used to be struck by their conduct, their lives, their trade, their walking, their talking. They used to look at them and they say, yes, this is how I want to be. And they would come into Islam. Today, we're not that picture that we have to be. We have to make up for this. It's said that the person who offers his salah 5 times a day with sincerity and punctuality, Allah gives him so many rewards, 5 of which is, 1, his daily bread will be made easy. Daily bread, his rizq, will be made easy. Today we see so many people, they're running here and they're utilizing all their energies and their time to make ends meet for their daily bread. And the azab of the qabr will be uplifted. It is said the azab of the qabr, the punishment of the grave, is so severe that if we realize how severe this is, there is a hadith in it meaning that we would stop burying our dead and we would run away to the hills. So the person who has lived this life according to Allah's commandments, it will be like a garden of paradise for him when he is in his grave. And the window from Jannah will be open for him, and the sweet fragrance of Jannah will come through this. How fortunate will be that person? But the person who hasn't lived his life according to the commandments of Allah, this grave will become a pit of hell. Serpents and scorpions will be let loose on that person. And it will squeeze him so much so that the ribs of one side will interlock into the ribs of the other side. And he will be stung and bitten till the day of Qiyamah. But through this salat, Allah has given us najat from this. So how merciful is Allah subhanahu? And the book of good deeds, we will get in our right hand. Everything we do in this life is written down, my brothers. Nothing can go unnoticed. Every single thing is written down. We have 2 angels. When we make a niyyah to do something good, straight away they write the hasna for this, the sawab for this. But when we make intention to do something bad, Allah is so merciful, He says, don't write this thing yet. Because he hasn't committed it. How merciful is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So this book of good deeds, the person who gets this in his right hand on the Day of Judgment, he will be so happy on that day. So happy. He will be running around showing his book. He said, look, I'm successful. It will be a sign that he is successful. And through this salat, Allah is saying that He will get your book of good deeds in your right hand. Punctuality in salat. And the bridge of Sirat, which everybody has to cross. Full Sirat. Everybody has to cross this bridge. And the person who's been punctual in Salat, he will cross this bridge so fast, he will reach the other side, and he won't even know he's crossed it. Speed of lightning, he will cross this bridge. And he will enter Jannah without return. Without any hisab kitab. Nobody will ask you any questions, and he will enter Jannah because of the barakat of Salat. Today, if you go from one country to the next, how many papers you have to fill out? How many applications you have to make? How many interviews you have to have? This is just going from one country to the next. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His infinite mercy, He's saying, if you are punctual in your salat, you will enter Jannah without any reckoning. Nobody will take any account of you. And straight away you will enter Jannah. Just through this salat. So we have to make effort on this. And to do this, we have to have knowledge. Knowledge is compulsory for each and every individual. To know what is halal, what is haram, what is pak, na pak, jaiz, na jaiz, What Allah has destined for me is allowed. Every individual should have enough knowledge in his life to know what the commandment of Allah is and how to obey that commandment according to the Prophet ﷺ's ways. This is compulsory on us. How can we be Muslim if we don't know the commandments of Allah? What is the command of Allah in any given 24 hours? And how to fulfill this command? We have to make this effort to gain this knowledge. This knowledge that we gain in the worldly life, this will be left behind. This will give us temporary success, if anything at all. But the knowledge that we acquire for the deen and Islam and what the commandment of Allah is, that will be the knowledge which will give us success. Not only in this life, but also in the akhirah. So we have to make effort for this. And he said there's two types of knowledge. The knowledge that we get in the Fazail halqas, groups, where the greatness of Allah is talked about, where the hadith is read, so that we can develop a zeal and a zest within our hearts to practice. What will we get by doing salat? What will we get by fasting? What do we get by going to Hajj? What will we get by doing tilawah? When we know what we will get, then we will run towards it. We will have more fervor to do this. And the Masail, we can sit with the ulamas. Allah has given us ulamas who have dedicated their lives to acquiring the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should ask them, in every walk of life that we are, all our Masail, everything that we do in our daily lives, we should consult the ulama. What does deen say regarding this situation? What does deen say regarding that situation? So we can be guided with the ulama. Instead of a person who goes out in the path of Allah to seek the knowledge, angels, they spread their wing under his feet. And all the creation, they make dua for his forgiveness. How great is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And we have to have ikram for each other in this. Ikram for our Muslim brothers, ikram for our parents, our neighbors, the people of Norway. What is the hukuk of these people on us? What is the rights of the mother and the father? The uncles, the brothers, the sisters, the wife, the children. What is their rights? Are we fulfilling these rights? We have to have knowledge of this. We have to make effort to acquire this knowledge. It's not alone just to be living on your own and just to be concerned with your own well-being. We have to make fikr for the whole ummah. He said that if you look at love and affection at your father once, you get the sawab of Hajj and Umrah. Just by looking at your father. And it said that Jannah lies under your mother's feet. You please your mother, you make dua for her, you get dua from her, you will be successful. How many of us have this respect? We have to develop this within us. We have to make effort on this. And everything that we do in this life, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it should be. Whether we are going for Hajj and Umrah, or we are in the dead of night when everybody's asleep, we are praying tahajjud. Only for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah is pleased with me. Allah forgive me for this. All the time we should be doing this. Checking our intention. What am I doing this for? For the worldly or material things? Or am I doing it for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Our sole purpose in life should be to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How Allah can be pleased with me? And Allah has created us so that we can be successful. Allah doesn't want us to be unsuccessful. He doesn't want to send us to Jahannam. He wants us to take from His treasures. He wants to forgive His makhluk. Shaik Taj has said that He will lead us astray, but Allah has said, I have also vowed that the person who makes istighfar and asks for my forgiveness, I will forgive him. How merciful, how bountiful is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to make effort on this. Deen didn't come to us on its own. It didn't just drop out of the sky. Prophets came, Sahabas made sacrifices, all for this deen. And we all know the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the last prophet by their purpose. No more prophets are going to come. So this effort of calling each other towards deen, practicing the deen, this is the duty of each and every individual. This is our responsibility in this life now. We have to make effort for the deen. We have to make sacrifice. Just like the Sahabas and the Prophets, they made sacrifice, we have to make sacrifice. We have to sacrifice our time. Everybody values their time. Time is valuable for each and every single person. Even the person who has nothing to do, is unemployed, even he values his time. So we have to utilize this time. This is an amanat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be questioned on the day of judgment. I gave you so many years in this life. How did you utilize this time? Did you utilize it to fulfill your own needs and desires? Or did you submit to my commandment? Submit to my will? do as I ask, adopted the ways of the Prophet ﷺ, did this work of dawah, deen, we will question about this. And that what little wealth Allah has given us, we will also be questioned about this. Any little wealth we have for this, we will be questioned. How did you spend this wealth? How did you utilize this? How did you act on the knowledge? So my dear brothers and respected elders, a Jamaat has come into your locality from London, England. There's 9 of us. We're in Madni Masjid. So we request brothers, inshallah, after 2 days we'll be coming to this mosque to spend some time with us. Come and see us, come and sit with us. We'll talk about the greatness of Allah. You can take us to meet Muslim brothers, inshallah, and through Nusrat and Hijrat, inshallah, deen will spread.
Barakallahu feek.
Everybody ready for this, inshallah?
Inshallah. Barakallahu feek.